Yakuza Kiwami Ultra Super Sexy Edition. I'm Drunken Dan.
Man. How long until Trump actually gets 100 fucking charges leveled against him?
You know, honestly, it's a good question, but it won't matter in the end because it's not like he's gonna face any penalties. I don't think he will. I want to be wrong, though. I'll be clear on that. I want to be wrong. Man deserves to be behind bars. I think even if they find him guilty, he'll never go to jail. Yeah.
I think house arrest is the best you can hope.
But you know, if he owes enough people, that house could end up being a cardboard box.
Well,
it probably won't come to that, but it's fun to dream, isn't it?
Dreams are good.
I can dream.
Dreams inspired us to get to live better lives. Or some shit, I don't know.
I did hear the news that unfortunately Pee Wee Herman passed away.
Oh yeah.
I was a little sad about that one because I liked Pee Wee Herman.
It is sad, but you know, time marches on.
Yeah. Wait, what was I supposed to do here?
I did hear apparently secret invasion or whatever is bad. Like, real bad. Like,
should I
maybe
pretend
the
to be
worst
surprised?
thing.
Oh, there he is.
Speaking of bad, real bad.
I mean, honestly, it's not nearly as bad as Herman passing away, but you know. But
Rip Pee Wee Herman.
But yeah, I'm not really surprised by the fucking Secret Invasion movie being bad. I can't really bring myself to give enough of a shit. So I'm sorry I'm not elaborating. I just don't give enough of a shit anymore.
I mostly bring it up because it is apparently the worst rated Marvel thing ever.
Yeah.
Or at least since, you know, the MCU. I'm fairly certain.
It's so bad people are finally being like, you know, maybe Marvel's not doing so good anymore.
For once, everyone has finally come together to go, maybe this sucks. The good times are over.
They've been over, but, you know, that's just how my thoughts on it. I've never really, to be honest, I've never been, like, super hot on the MCU, so... Like, I never hated it. It was just that thing where it's always like, it's alright.
I mean, I was back in the day, but, you know...
I mean, I used to joke saying...
all the good characters are gone now.
I mean, I used to joke saying that, the funniest thing they did was take an unlikable character like Tony Stark and then just completely pen him into a different character to make him likable.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Stark used to be likable when Civil War happened.
Well,
no.
I mean, sort of. He was likable, but the problem was that until before Civil War, Iron Man was a C-lister. Like, he was a character who was known in the comic book circle, and maybe people who remembered the 90s show, but, like, he was nobody really that big that nobody really cared much about him, which is probably also why they did the whole thing with Civil War, making him, you know, the super fascist, because they just figured, well, this character will never be a big enough name for people to actually give a shit about this.
If we fuck him over. And then Robert Downey Jr. basically made him their biggest name other than, like, Spooderman.
He used it as his redemption story.
And now they've, like, penned so many existing stories to Tony Stark that had nothing to do with him before.
Now they've turned him into an A-lister, which is fine, just...
The thing is, it worked when the movies were going, but now they're like, he's not in the movies anymore, so now they're trying to push, you know, characters.
Carol.
Carol. They really want Carol to be a big thing.
Stop making her a fucking super fascist, then.
Yeah, why not just go back to how she was when she was fun?
When she was just kind of like Angry Punch and that was it?
Yeah, when she was just Angry Punch Woman who had a couple quips, and I was like, people like that.
Yeah. That's true.
You didn't need to make her a fascist.
She like became like stick up the ass. Rather than just kind of Angry Punch Girl. I mean, I always looked at her as discount Power Girl personally, but you know.
Yeah, but Marvel didn't have a Power Girl, so.
Well,
so
Marvel didn't
sort of
have
worked.
Marvel didn't have a female character who wasn't like stapled onto a pre-existing team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we talked about that before. That like Marvel doesn't really have a standalone. Like they don't have a Wonder Woman. They don't really have like standalone women. They don't have a Zatanna. They don't have any of that shit.
Yeah, because
Or if they do, nobody cares.
yeah, basically, or then
They might be like super obscure, like Wizard is. Like we only know about the Wizard because Train Man learned about the Wizard, and then it became a joke because it's funny.
Oh no, I've always known about the Wizard because he's in the '90s Spider-Man TV show.
I
Which is
don't
why,
even remember him in there.
Yeah, he's in the Six Forgotten Warriors arc. You'd be like, which one's that one? That's the one where they had Electro, and Electro was actually like a Nazi. Like for real Nazi, he's like the son of Red Skull or something.
I did not
And
know
also
that. Again, it's been so many years since I've seen the 90s Spider-Man. One of these days, I should rewatch it just because I loved it as a kid, but I was very young. So it's been very long.
So lots of things hold up, some things definitely don't.
I'm expecting like things like the animation to have issues.
Season 1 animation pretty good.
I
Everything
mean,
after
that's
that,
usually what happens in a lot of shows. Like even like the Ninja Turtles. Season 1 Ninja Turtles is actually really well animated. It's really nice to look at. And then like Season 2, it drops off, and then it drops off more and more and more.
Yeah, because they're like, well, people watch this now. We don't need to try hard to impress them.
now we can reuse animation. That is a point. If you
Every
ever
now
do
and then,
wanna-
they get like a studio who like animates it and like does like crazy shit with the animation, like that one where you see in that scene where it's like the over animated scene with April in the office talking to like Vernon and Thompson.
Yeah, that happens. It's like Transformers too. Like there'd be episodes that would be awful and episodes that would be beautiful. And then there was like one episode that was done by the same studio that did the movie.
Yeah.
And that episode was ridiculously beautiful, except it is the one where all the animal Transformers go to meet the guy who invented Unicron, so it was a stupid episode.
It was season 3. They're all stupid episodes.
I mean, it was one of the stupidest.
Yeah, remember that time when Grimlock became smart?
Yes.
I still remember that time Makoto from Persona 5 got kidnapped at the end of the episode and was never seen again.
Yeah, that's the last one before the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of,
Yeah, it's like...
I wanted to word it that way just so you had that second where it's like click, click. Oh, okay, I get the joke.
Right, yes, bot, yeah. It's like bot.
Oh,
This was the last episode of Transformers for the movie. Could you imagine if this had been the last episode of Transformers ever?
Right?
a friend of mine was linking me some reviewer who did like a video on Carnage in C minor, and I was like,
and it's not just like it's a good episode that ends with her getting kidnapped. It's a terrible. It's the absolute worst episode. It's one of the worst ones in the franchise, and yet it's the one that it's the last one before the movie, the last one that features a lot of characters that get killed off in the movie, and the first one to feature Defensor, and it's like this is the plot they chose.
The only one to feature Defensor.
He comes up in season 3 a couple times. But that was his most prominent one is when he blows up Bruticus and then just leaves.
And Swindle's like, hey, 3 parts. I guess it's in character for Swindle.
Yeah, he's like, I can't help it, it's part of my program. Part of my program to be greedy and screw people over.
You idiot. Oh, Swindle.
I realized something that made about I just playing this and with this scene with this guy who's going to be like the boss soon in the game is that I realized one of the things that the games after 2 kind of fuck up is that they tend to not introduce your antagonists as well, where a lot of them are twist villains, or they take forever to actually introduce them or show them on screen, or then you have like 5 where it's just like, yeah, this guy's barely been in the thing, yeah, he's actually now the big antagonist and the final guy you have to fight and nearly kills Kiryu.
To be fair,
Even though he was a jobber.
To be fair, Yakuza 1 is guilty of that, where they spend most of the game building up that Nishiki is going to be your primary antagonist, and then Haruka's father is like, by the way, I'm here. This is the first time I'm appearing on screen.
I meant like the
final
entire
boss.
Rogues Gallery though, like where you get to see like more of them in general, where, like, in a lot of the other ones, it's just, like, they kind of show up late. It was something that I was just thinking about, but, I mean, original one I know is guilty of that, because Nishiki doesn't even get, like, the scenes that, like, show you what's been going on with him in the original version of 1. Because that was all added in Kiwami, I know that.
Oh yeah, he basically doesn't get, like...
He doesn't really exist until, like, the end of the game, pretty much, in the original version.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he gets, like, the one cutscene where Kiryu breaks into the funeral. And then he's more or less gone until the finale.
Yeah. Like, if I'm gonna be fair, obviously I'm talking about the remake versions of the games. Some people are like they should remake 3, and I'm mixed on it, because on one hand, I'm like, how, like, you would have to do so much to make 3 not a piece of shit.
Hmm.
Oh, I have to go the long way.
Not the long way.
Take the long way home. Wait, I didn't mean to put that marker down. Get rid of that. There was a game I played recently, I'm trying to remember what it was, that let you put on, like, multiple markers and, like, put, like, little, colors for the markers. So you could, like, put markers all over the fucking place. And it was really cool. But I don't remember what game it was that did that. Hey, I'll fight you guys instead. How about that?
I don't remember things too good no more.
Me neither.
I never remembered things good.
Remember? Oh, I did watch,
Except Transformers memes, I can't seem to forget those.
We won't let you forget.
I will never let anyone forget the Transformers memes.
Like, we'll never forget Carbomia.
I was wondering who was gonna say it first.
Honestly, I think one of the lines that will always stick in my head is Megatron being like, Grimlock, I'm not afraid of you. I think Grimlock's response is like, me, Grimlock, love fight, stupid enemy.
I did watch the last Project Echo movie, and it was pretty good. It was definitely better than 2 and 3, though you need 1 through 3 in order for the movie to work.
Oh shit! Speaking of stuff we could watch, turns out Shin Kamen Rider is on Prime.
Oh, nice.
So, I was going to watch it today, but then I was like, I've got friends. I'd like to con some of them into watching Shin Kamen Rider with me.
What else?
The weekend.
What, I'm trying to think of other shit. Oh, yeah, a funny thing happened.
No, it's not Shin Kamen Rider, it's Shin Masked Rider.
I know what I said.
Big difference. Well, no, because people can't find it on Prime because like it's listed under Masked Rider and not Kamen Rider.
Just type Shin in.
They're like Kamen Rider. I typed in Shin Kamen Rider and nothing came out. And it's like, well,
You know what? That is weird because I typed in Shin Kamen Rider and it did come up.
okay, maybe they corrected the search thing because like people kept complaining. I mean, because that is what they call it in the subtitles. So I guess.
I mean, it's what Kamen means.
Yeah. Well, as someone said, the official English titles for everything before Decade is Masked Rider, but then starting with Double, they switched to Kamen Rider even in English. Was people like, well, because they were running off the Saban show, and then like Dragon Knight came out, which still called it Kamen Rider. So they're like, oh, okay, we don't need to acknowledge that anymore.
Also, like, you know, after a certain point, they must have realised that, oh yeah, people are just going to be way more familiar thanks to the internet. I'm going to know about the original anyway, so...
Yeah, we must make sure no one ever remembers that show again. No one must know about Amazon.
Oh, I remember so!
But, there is actually a Gundam thing that I want to mention that happened. It's pretty funny. So, there was an interview in Gundam Ace with, I'm trying to remember, Soletta's voice actress, I'm trying to remember, where she just said, like, yeah, the characters are married, and then apparently certain people in Japan got pissed, so Gundam Ace pulled that part of the interview out of their shit, and we're like,
yeah.
No, it's up to interpretation.
And then there were people in the West that were like, "What?"
Well, no, people in Japan are pissed too. It's just certain types who are mad.
I mean, like Japan is pissed because they confirmed it, and America is pissed.
No, there were certain types in Japan that were pissed. You know, the same types over here that were pissed that they were gay.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but
it's very obvious when Eri turns and says sister-in-law to a Marine.
Yeah, but here they're like the minority. Now everybody wants everybody to be gay, or something, or some form of title.
That's really not true.
Well, it is on the
Also,
internet.
I
Not
mean,
really.
also, I mean, at the end of Witch of Mercury literally just has them very blatantly the
People
wedding
have been
ring.
wanting
Yeah,
everyone to
exactly.
be-
That's why it's really
People have
funny.
been wanting everyone to be gay since the Gundam Wing days, so I guess that's just how it works.
I mean, Gundam Wing was so, like, leaning on the yaoi shit back in the day with the fucking promo art.
and the fanfics,
I'm not even talking about
And
the fanfics. I'm talking about just the fucking, like, art.
and the freaking lunatic.
I'm talking about the promotional art.
I know. I'm just saying the most lunatic takes I've ever seen have been from the Gundam Wing fan.
I mean, Gundam Wing, to be fair, is very lunatic.
To be fair, Wufei does hate women.
He does hate women.
Yeah.
He also named his mobile suit after his dead wife.
Mostly so you could hate that too.
I hate everyone! I hate all women, especially my Gundam!
Damn it, Gundam, why don't you go in there and make me a sandwich?
Fucking god, I hate women so much, said Wufei.
Actual Wufei dialogue.
Actual Wufei dialogue.
It's like, I hate my wife. I hate Noin, and I'm not very fond of you either.
You're a woman, no wonder you're stupid! Actual Wufei dialogue.
Meanwhile, Hero just has. I don't get that Hero's gay. He's just got the Sigma male grind set on like fucking lockdown. He is completely about earning about profit, and the profit is dead Earthnoids, I guess.
Except for he's really bad at his job.
Oh no, he killed a lot of people. He just then went and spent most of the show apologizing for doing it.
Sorry about all those people I murdered in the first episode and never again.
Who are you? Go away, kid.
Well, he just murdered the wrong people.
Damn it, I didn't kill Relena Beastcraft, and I never
because-
did!
Because Trace tricked him into killing the people that actually were willing to negotiate with them.
Because of course Trace did, because it was all just as planned.
Yeah.
Everything is always just as planned when you're Trace.
I mean, he is Beast Wars Megatron, so it makes perfect sense, honestly.
So whose plans are dumber? Trey's or Lelouch?
Lelouch.
Okay.
Because Trace's plans always inexplicably work. Lelouch's plans never work, but everything else bumblefucks around to make sure they do.
No, Lelouch's plans work until Lancelot shows up. And then he's like, damn, you think I would have learned by now.
All I know is...
And then the one time he actually had a plan for Lancelot, it was all ruined because he found out Suzaku was piloting it, and he goes, oh no.
That's not the
My
right
friend.
pilot.
My husband.
God damn it, I can't even fight my husband today. Look what you've taken from me!
But no, I think Trace is like, what his plans at least work as intended. Also, Lelouch's plans pretty always kind of shit.
Artist plan's usually like, alright, I'll let the people who could be my allies die, or I will throw Colin in, and this'll work until someone with a name tag shows up.
Or his plan is, I'll just brainwash everyone to sabotage the environment, and then, nobody will ever catch on.
I don't want to do this shit. I don't care about the fucking cabaret club. Sure, open this lineup. I don't care. I don't care about the cabaret club.
Speaking of Geass, they still have another thing coming out, but I don't know when it is. And I don't know what it's about.
Lelouch, probably. They
I mean,
tried doing something that wasn't about Lelouch and nobody cared.
Yeah. They're like, the only episode they cared about was the one episode Lelouch showed up in.
So...
Can't I put them down?
No.
Why is it not letting me put somebody in here?
Also, now that Seed is coming back, Geass
okay.
might be like, Geass is old news. We have Seed here again. We don't need you, Lelouch.
I don't think anybody will think that. I mean, it'll be an act.
We got Kira back. We don't need you, Lelouch.
No one is going to do that.
You'd be surprised.
I mean,
Kira
I
was
guess.
Kira was very, very popular.
Well, I guess speaking of douchebag people in stupid costumes, I did finally get back into more Reverie, and I got to the scene where C, no idea who he is, meets Duvalie. And
Yeah.
she forgave him real fucking quick.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you got over that really fast, considering you freaking murdered your master
Right in front of you.
right in front of you.
And stabbed her in the back as well. She's just like, oh, there's a fake. Oh, there's another guy out there who's totally not Rufus. Oh, and I guess I also left off when someone else joined the party, who I was a lot less happy to see.
Ah, yes.
Fucking Arios.
Of course, he joins Rufus's party.
Well, he would. He's a fucking criminal scum. And everyone in Rufus's party are criminal scum. Assassins and thieves and,
Yeah.
you know, just generally not nice people.
Assassins, thieves, hackers.
Kind of incredible. Blue Blank's not joined his team yet.
I mean, if he was in the game, he probably would have.
Yeah, he definitely would have.
But, you know, he's too busy being wherever he is.
I assume in Calvin's preparing to steal some shit so Van and company can go and go and find
do a
it.
fetch quest? Yeah, probably.
Ah, I see you're having a good time. It'd be a shame if someone were to steal something that forced you to go onto an arbitrary fetch quest.
Did you get the side story with Olivia and Shura?
I don't think I've got that yet.
Oh.
I got the one where Kurt has to dress in drag and go to the all-girls school
Yes, of course he does.
and makes one girl have a sexual awakening.
Yes, because Muse is like, no, we're going to dress you up like a girl because
Yeah.
I'm a troll.
Even though there's literally no reason to do this.
He's like, I could just wait outside, you know. No, you're coming in.
Or, you know, you could just let him go in and say, hey, look, we've got a visitor.
No, it's just, she made him dress like a girl and she even magically changed his voice.
Especially since Elliot's, like, right there.
Yeah, he doesn't have that problem.
To be fair, Elliot already looks like a girl. But, yeah, that was the side story I remember. In drag.
I mean, there's like a bunch of them, so.
Yeah, I'll get through all of them eventually, I think. At least there's a beach minigame.
There's 2 beach mini games.
Ah.
One for the Crossbell cast and one for the Cold Steel cast.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thankfully, Rufus does not get a beach mini game. He does have a swimsuit costume though, which is just a very tiny speedo.
Yeah, of course he would.
Because I don't know why. Because he's definitely the kind of guy that would wear something like that, I guess.
100%. You don't see it.
10 more seconds of this bullshit. I don't care for the cabaret stuff. I don't care for it. I'm never gonna do this again.
But it's like everyone's favorite part of the game.
Why?
Even the latest game has Kason as one of the cabaret girls now.
Why does everyone give a shit about the cabaret stuff? It's not fun.
I don't know, because Japan likes stuff like that.
Oh, go to cabaret. The cabaret is my favorite part. No, fuck that. I want to pile drive a guy through a goddamn truck. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for this shit.
Well,
Just choke slam people. Hit people with a fucking bike.
Because the more time he's in cabaret, the less time he's inexplicably not killing people.
It's true. Kiryu Kazuma
You
has never
can't
killed
really
anybody.
say it's. You can't really say it's padding in Yakuza. Yakuza games are fucking huge.
Oh yeah, it's not even padding. I just
Like-
don't care for the cabaret stuff.
You know,
I
so
never
it's like
did.
he's never killed anyone, even though he grabbed the guy and freaking closed the car door on his head.
There's several
You know-
helicopters in 6 that you have to blow up
I'm
with a
like,
rocket launcher.
I mean, when the Kingpin did that, it killed somebody, but not him.
I mean, there's like shootouts in 2 or 3 of the games where there's like on-rail shootouts, but they're not dead. Somehow. Somehow they're not dead.
Oh, are they re-releasing Batman: Mask of the Phantasm?
Yeah,
They
4K.
are for some reason.
4K Blu-ray.
I guess Warner Brothers is desperate for something.
I can't imagine why.
I think it's something to do with the Flash.
What? No, that's obviously that was a success. It was a great idea to do the Flash.
Actually, yeah, but they already got a success because didn't Warner Brothers make Barbie?
Yes.
Did they?
Well, they own. Well, no, Mattel owns Barbie.
No, they
Yeah.
own it. I'm saying who made the movie.
I don't.
Maybe.
I think it is Warner Brothers actually.
I feel like they're gonna learn the absolute worst lesson from.
Oh, they already want to do a cinematic universe with it.
Which is
That's
just.
oh yeah.
It's not even a cinematic universe. It's just like let's make a bunch of parody.
No, they said cinematic universe.
The Mattel properties, including Uno. Actually, do you want to know the real oopsie related to Barbie that happened?
What's that?
Where they accidentally offended Japan.
Oh yeah.
What'd they do?
Alright, so you know how the whole meme has been like Barbenheimer, go and see both movies for some reason?
Yeah.
So, some fan made a, joke, made a meme image of like, of editing Barbie's hair so it looked like the atomic bomb. Or the atomic bomb explosion. Mushroom cloud kind of thing.
Okay.
And then Warner Brothers official Twitter liked the tweet.
Oh, okay. I see where this is
So-
going.
People in Japan were like, man, that's really offensive to us who had this fucking thing dropped on us.
I mean, it's fair. Fair play, honestly.
I mean, if you watch the movie,
Barbie or Oppenheimer?
no Oppenheimer. Like if you watch the movie, it's not like we're gonna take this bomb, we're gonna blow up the Japanese. It's like there's a scene where Oppenheimer's like, I built that bomb to blow up the Nazis, not drop it on Japan. What's wrong with you people? I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's the way they tried to play him.
Probably not. Biopics are basically almost always all lies.
And they usually
I'm-
scrub off a lot of the shit people actually would do.
they had the long unnecessary sex scene in that movie, which
Of course they did.
everyone's like, why was that in there?
Gotta
Yeah,
have
it's
sex
Christopher
scene.
The movie has this bit where like scenes that are historically accurate are in black and white, and then scenes where they're just guessing stuff are in color.
That sounds like a Nolan thing to do.
So it's like scenes that really happen with like people can actually be there to corroborate. Yes, he really said those things are in black and white, and stuff are like, well, we assume he did that. Like he met this one woman one night. We assume they had a ridiculously over the top sex scene, but we can't be sure.
Well, I'm sure it was for the art and not because he's got a crush on Cillian Murphy.
I mean, apparently everyone in that movie had a crush on Cillian Murphy. They were like we kept messing up our takes because we kept getting lost in his eyes.
Yeah, but I only mention it because it's very suspicious that of all the characters who kept coming back in those Batman movies, inexplicably it was Scarecrow, who wasn't even relevant in his movie.
Yeah.
So
It
what
wasn't
the
even
fuck
his
is-
movie when you really think about it.
It wasn't, but it's the movie. It's the one where it's like, "Hey guys, Batman fights the Scarecrow in this movie."
Except he doesn't.
And then he never does. How it's the
The
Scarecrow?
girlfriend
defeating that
throws a
movie.
rock at him.
No, she shoots him with a tape. She stole off a police officer.
Oh.
He gets tased.
Somehow that's dumber.
Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, he gets tased, and that's how the
He just
Scarecrow's
fucks
defeated.
off. Doesn't he just... He gets arrested at the start of the second movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's dealing drugs, and everyone's like, "Why did you supply me with drugs that make people shit themselves and have horrible hallucinations?" And then he's like, "I'm the Scarecrow. What did you think I was going to give you?"
He's like I said it would take him places. I didn't say it'd take him to good places.
How do you not know what I'm about?
Have you heard of me? No, because you were tased by a cop, by a random lady and disappeared.
And then in the third movie, he was the judge at the mock trial, but that was supposed to be the Joker, but he was dead.
Yeah. So we get good old Scarecrow back because, as I said, Christopher Nolan has a crush on Cillian Murphy. Which,
So
fair enough,
pretty.
I guess. I mean, he's entitled to have whatever man crush he wants.
He's so pretty. I can't help but look into his eyes.
I mean, those are some pretty deep eyes.
They
I'm
are.
not gonna lie.
But I guess he's having fun after nobody saw Tenet because nobody wanted to. Because even though Christopher Nolan wanted everyone to get infected and die, a lot of people didn't want to get infected and die.
I had to think about it, and it took me a minute to remember that Tenet was actually a fucking thing. Not
Yeah.
even a joke. I was just like, Tenet, what the fuck? And it took my brain a minute.
Well, yeah, because even the diehards didn't go and watch it because people didn't want to, get sick and die.
This cutscene is still fucking going on.
Oh yeah, get used to that.
Yeah, but I don't care about it because it's the fucking cabaret. I know the cutscenes are long in these games. It's the cabaret.
At least we know how to break Dan. Just make him play nothing but the cabaret segments.
I'm not going to do that.
No, it's when if anyone ever breaks into your house and holds you hostage against your wills, that's how to torture you. To get you to talk.
They make me play every cabaret from every fucking game
Yeah.
and beat every cabaret. God, I would lose my fucking mind. I would talk. I'd sing.
It's like tell us what you want to know, or else we'll hook you up to this device that forces you to play the cabaret segments of Yakuza 24/7 until you crack.
Wait, is it all of them or just one of them? All of them. Oh god, that means also 3. Fuck.
But
I'm just saying, there's
people
a
are
better
enjoying-
minigame in this. There's the fucking art, strategy one with Majima's building company. That
thought you
one's
were gonna say
more.
there's-
That one's fun.
Well, I thought you were going to say there's a better minigame, it's called Virtua Fighter.
I mean, there's also that. Technically.
If you can even call Virtua Fighter a game.
Does Virtua Fighter even exist anymore?
Nah.
Actually, no, that's not fair. The director of Virtua Fighter, I think they are working on one because director of Virtua Fighter is talking about how how the next one would have rollback. I think it's funny how every other developer's like, yeah, we gotta have rollback, and then Harada with Tekken is trying to gaslight people into believing that his delay code is rollback.
Yeah, but Harada's crazy, man. You know this. That's why we love him.
I know why he's doing it. He probably genuinely thinks delay is better. And he's like, well, I'm a I studied psychology back in the day. I know what I'll do. I'll just trick them into believing it's rollback. And it's not working, and he's really fucking annoyed about it. It's like, the placebo's not working! What the fuck?
If I tell them something is good and they want it long enough, maybe they'll believe it.
Fuck! No, it's not! The placebo's not working, what the hell? Because, people that got their hands on the, beta were quick to realize that it's still delay, even though they're like, yeah, it's rollback! It's not. It's not rollback.
Yeah, I guess it could be worse.
I mean, I still want the game. Just means I probably won't play online with it too much.
Meet your friends in real life, oh wait.
But I mean, if you and I were to play it together, it wouldn't be a problem. Because who cares?
Yeah. We'll just do
No,
what we always do.
Though I'd have it on PC, so God knows if we'd actually be able to play unless it's got cross-platform.
I feel like it will have cross-platform.
I know Street Fighter 6 is cross-platform.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball Fighters was cross-platform.
I don't think it was. Because we played it when we were playing it together, we were playing it on console, but nowadays I have it on PC. I think I still have the console version laying around somewhere, but I don't have all the DLC for it.
I don't have any of the DLC for that game. I've not actually picked it up in fucking years.
It's been a while since I played it too. I want to play it again at some point. It's fun. Let's go a couple rounds.
Yeah, I
with someone.
wouldn't be opposed to playing it. Just
But yeah, I don't think it's got cross-platform, but I have to double check.
I think it does, but yeah, we'll have to check that.
Yeah. Because it came out when cross-platform wasn't as popular as it is now. Not as many games were doing it. But they might have added it later, and I might have just not realized it. Because if they added it later, then we could easily play, where I could just pop out the PC version and verse you in the console version.
and try and remember how to play because I had not played it since.
Oh, don't worry, I haven't played it since God knows when either.
Well, we know when you last played it.
I think I played it at least 1 or 2 more times after that.
No.
But that was years ago still. Ah, Kamurocho. It's always back here. Oh, the drugs are kicking in.
Oh no, this woman's been drugged. Not by me.
It was a very specific denial.
Well, in today's day and age, you kind of have to be specific.
It's true.
You never know when someone's going to accuse you of something you didn't do, or worse, something you did do, but then you get away with it anyway. No, I'm not naming anyone specific.
I won't lie, I do like the atmosphere of, like, the Serenade being all fucking, dusty still. Because this is before they inexplicably just had a new person just buy the place.
Well,
I think that happens in 3.
Yeah.
Where they have, like, somebody buy it, and I don't think they show her until the next... No, she was in the 3rd game, not in the 4th game, was in the 5th, I think is how it went.
Something like that.
And they just call her Mama, and that's it. And then apparently she's also Daigo's new wife, and that just kind of happens. It's like, oh, they're married? Okay, I guess.
To be fair, I think that's because Mama is a term they use for, like, women who do own bars, like, in real life.
Well, I meant more as it is... They didn't... I don't think they ever really said her name. They just called her by her title.
Yeah.
Which includes her husband.
Well, I mean, that one's just a fetish thing.
You know what? You know what? You got me there. You got me.
Which, you know, we're in a game where you do have to fight men who literally get off to being treated like babies.
Also, I like how 3, you could, like, the only reason you can't even fully skip 3 is because Kishiwagi dies in that. Kishiwagi here just fucking gets, like, killed in a really stupid way. Like, when the game finally remembers, oh yeah, there's a plot, isn't there? I guess we should do that. And they immediately kill him.
Damn, spoilers, Dan.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3 didn't respect my time, I ain't respecting its time. Yakuza 3 is such a fucking pain in the ass to play.
I guess speaking of, like, Asian guys who keep not dying, Luchinaga's still kicking.
Of course he is. Isn't he in prison right now?
Oh, I'm talking about a different guy. I'm talking about the show.
Oh, I was talking about Yuji Naka as in the Sonic guy.
Yeah, he survived.
Even in the episode where it's like, goodbye, Michi.
Even the episode that sets up for his death and he didn't die.
He's like, nah, bro.
But you know what he didn't get? He didn't get his final form.
No.
You know why?
Did they destroy it?
No. Apparently there was a hiccup with Geats having its budget slashed mid-show and then restored towards the end of the show. So they went from, like, being like, alright, I guess these characters aren't going to have final forms to, oh, we're going to make them now, but we're not going to have them ready by the time the show's over.
Well, for the movies, I guess.
Yeah, so he's like, well, so he's going to get it for his, like, post-show movie.
Yeah.
Because people are like, where's his form that they've been advertising?
Well, at least Nago got a new half form. It's better than I expected it to get, I'll be honest.
But she was supposed to get it earlier. Like, people said in the movie, like, she doesn't use it because it wasn't ready when they were filming the movie.
Well, these things happen.
Yeah, well.
I am still behind on Ultraman Blazar. I watched the first episode and I still liked it, and I'm still like, yeah, I want to keep watching it.
Yeah, I should probably keep watching that eventually.
Well, sort of. With my case, it's more I watch it with friends, and then it's like trying to organise those friends to watch it. Is a pain in the ass. And I'm like, guys, it's Ultraman in English with Johnny Young Bosch. What more could you possibly want?
Johnny Young Bosch in Gridman. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Isn't he?
I was gonna say, was he in the Gridman dub?
I don't think so. Like I say, actually, trying to think, was there anyone who's like super notable? Who, like,
Actually, no. I think the Gridman dub was mostly like rookies.
Yeah. Same with Dynazenon, although Dynazenon's also just. Like,
I
mean, yeah, why?
I mean, I say rookies. It's more that like I don't follow like the regular day anime anymore. So
Yeah, there's a lot of. I know like some of the more like newer voice actors, but like I don't know a lot of them. So, like, there's a lot of times where I'll listen to a voice and I'll be like, "That sounds like so and so." Look up. I have no idea who you are. You're not who I thought you were.
I don't think there was anyone like super big in Gridman.
Baby dun dun.
it's like the Japanese dubcast of Three Houses. When I was like, I was like, oh, these people I've never heard of before. It must be a bunch. Like, these people aren't rookies. They've been in all these shows in the last 10 years. Like My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan and all these. Oh, you mean all these shows I don't watch because I don't really watch anime that isn't robots, that wasn't made in like the last 10 years because I just don't care for it. And you're like, oh, okay, then you're just not gonna know any of these people.
I bet they were in One Piece.
Probably were in One Piece.
Everyone's
Probably somewhere, somehow, we're in One Piece.
It's like Detective Conan. Everyone's been in Detective Conan twice at this point.
Yes, I actually did have an argument with sort of One Piece earlier, where we were like, oh, I want to get into One Piece, but it's too long, and I'm like, the longer you delay, the longer it's going to get, right? Like, this isn't going to get to a point of like, oh, it's just going to lose episodes. Either watch it or don't watch it.
I'm waiting for Kai.
Yeah, in like 40 fucking years, everyone's dead. Good luck.
Hey, come on, I'm waiting for Kai, man!
They'll just use AI.
Also, One Piece Kai will still be like 500 fucking episodes.
Which is still less than the 3,000 will be by the end of this shit.
Yeah, like a lot of One Piece isn't filler. It's stuff that's actually in the manga. It's not like with Dragon Ball where they were desperately making up ridiculous things to cover the fact that they were barely ahead of the writing.
Well, there was Queen shooting into a crowd for like months.
Yeah, well.
I know of that one because my one friend was so fucking angry about that. Which is great, because he doesn't watch this, so I can say this. One of the bosses in the game I'm running as a DM is basically just Queen. So he's gonna fucking be mad at me. He doesn't watch this, so he won't know.
Good old killer Queen. I mean, just regular Queen.
Zuma, 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 Zuma. I won't lie, though. I'm not, like, super big into One Piece. It's eh.
Yeah, it's less... I'm not saying you should get into it. It's, like, entirely everyone's choice. It's just more of the weird argument of people saying, oh, One Piece is too long. I want to get into One Piece, but One Piece is too long. And it's like, well, you have two choices here. Either do it now or don't do it ever, because it's not going to get shorter.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I can also understand it, too, because it is very daunting, because even if you want to get into Dragon Ball, it's not even as long as One Piece is right now. And Dragon Ball is pretty daunting, too. Though Dragon Ball has the advantage of being over for sometimes.
Like, Dragon Ball's here bridge most of the time, it's usually good enough. It genuinely worked on my one... It genuinely worked on my one friend.
I recommend Kai over that, just because a lot of Abridged is a joke. And, like, comedically flanderizing things, which is fun, and I like it. But if you want to, like...
It was a joke for a while, but towards the end they started taking it really seriously. Because they were trying to show off their, like, legit talent. And that's one of the reasons why they basically were forced to shut down.
Wow.
I
guess we'll never know.
I mean, did Cell need to bring out into a long rendition of My Way? No, not really. The guy just wanted to show off
that he could do that.
Hey, I could sing. Hire me. And they're like, well, we can't hire you because you've been blacklisted by Toei.
Toei said no.
And it's okay, now he's a VTuber.
I
was gonna say, like, he could probably do, like, voice acting for, like, regular cartoons. Like, regular, like, American cartoons.
I mean,
you have to be SAG to do that. Although, you had to be SAG to do that. SAG is not currently working on anything.
Yeah.
So if you want to scab, now's the time. There may or may not be consequences. Like, although SAG is like even influencers are scabbing if they're supporting these industries. So
I mean,
you better not. Otherwise, we'll find out, and we won't let you into SAG later on if you want to be part of it.
yeah, but that's a nothing argument because they were never going to let them join SAG anyway.
Yeah.
Well, they
Like-
weren't, but they weren't. But some people were like,
But what if we did?
No,
Well,
they're saying it to like get them on site, try and get them on site, but they'll never do it. Like
Yes,
even before, now, they'd still, even if every single influencer was like, yeah, okay, we'll give up our entire income just for you guys' point. Even then, they'll still be like, actually, we talked about it, and you can all go fuck yourselves and die in a pit.
yeah,
Okay, thanks. Goodbye.
that's what people said. Like they'll never, like maybe they'll give you a crumb or two, but they're never gonna. No, they're just trying to stop them from moving in on their turf while they're striking, basically.
Yeah, they're more
And
concerned about that.
there are some influencers that are like I'm just doing this in hopes that Hollywood notices me because I want to be an A-list celebrity. I don't want to influence for the rest of my life. But then there are influencers that are like, we don't care.
Just
We
wanna
just
play
do
my video
we, like
games.
we get more from our influencing and independent stuff than Hollywood could ever give us.
Like Pat, who used to be like two best friends, just like I'm fine just playing video games and talking to Wooly and living like that. It's fine.
As I said, it's a moot point anyway because they'd never do it.
Yeah,
No one could.
No, yeah.
And surely no one's stupid enough to believe them, to believe the lies. If they say we might let you join.
Oh, there
It's
are.
like-
There are people narking on influencers that are defying SAG.
Like, unless SAG is going to write up a fucking legally binding contract right now that says definitely we will give you this support, then I say don't trust them as far as you can from. Fuck them. It's their battle to fight.
Yeah,
Fuck
honestly.
'em. You guys have your platforms. Use your platforms if you're happy to do so. If you
And-
don't want to, if you want to try and join SAG, good luck. They'll tell you to kill yourself. I guarantee it.
And like I said earlier too, like I said the last time we were recording about like when you're doing stuff online is that you can, unless you have a big enough following, you can get washed away really quickly. Just by not like doing something for like a week if you're even just like kind of middle of the road.
Well, the problem is if you're a niche thing, you know, it can be okay. But if your like entire thing is I play like current video games or I find like indie hidden gems or whatever, it's like you are fighting against the fucking current there. So you cannot afford to take a break if you want to stay relevant. So. But I said it's fine if people want to support the SAG strike. It's just more of the don't do it because you think they'll ever give you anything. They won't.
Yeah.
They hate you.
Oh, yeah.
They hate you with a passion. They would love to see you dead. They would love to see your entire industry destroyed because it is a challenge to theirs.
Yeah,
and don't ever let anyone tell you that is not the case.
I mean, hell, they see the video game industry as a fucking competitor nowadays.
Yeah. I'm genuinely surprised they've not tried to force.
That's actually why you don't see
production.
licensed games as much anymore, because they see them as a threat now.
Also because they just go on mobile games.
And also because it's like it just takes way too long to develop a game.
As Marvel's Avengers found out.
Yeah.
When
So-
they had their Avengers game come out like immediately following Endgame, when most of their roster is no longer relevant, and like this game would have been great if it came out
A couple of years ago.
5 years ago. But you're a little late to the party there, pals.
Well, that game had a short development cycle too, but they still did it too late because Marvel never had a plan for after Endgame.
No, their plan was we'll make billions.
Which is pretty
Their
much-
plan was we'll make billions on Endgame and things will work. Like people like the Guardians of the Galaxy, they'll like anybody. Who got from Miss Marvel,
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, whatever.
I mean, I like Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi, but
we print gold. And then turns out even with Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury is like one of their bigger characters and stars can't if the quality is crap, nobody cares.
But yeah, but it's just like that was an insane thing that the SAG strike for the SAG people to try and pull. because it's like, who do you think's going to believe you? Nobody should. Nobody will believe you. You're evil, rotten liars. Like 90% of you. Like I'm sure there are some actors who aren't scumbags. I can't think of any. It's like, I don't know. I always think back to one of my favorite things to kind of rag on is Leonardo DiCaprio in when he got his award for Revenant, and he sits there and he has the audacity to say about climate change is a serious problem. And don't get me wrong, climate change is a serious problem. We do need to do better. But it's a real fucking rich coming from a guy who went to the awards ceremony in a private jet. You know, jets being one of the worst contributors to carbon emissions.
Well, no. You see, the plebeians need to
see, everyone else needs
to give up more climate change, so we can have. It's like, I mean, there are literally Hollywood people being like, "Why don't the normies think we're cool anymore?"
Yeah, it's
like what happened to death of the movie star? Like, well, maybe social media kind of proves that you're not special.
More than that, because it's like more than that, but also because when they get on their high horses about certain issues, when they don't have the real knowledge or understanding or the wit to really, you know, contribute, and you just, like I said, the DiCaprio thing, it's like, okay, well, who do you think you're kidding when you say shit like this? That you think people don't know that you have this? You think it's difficult for people to figure out that, oh, you came to the awards ceremony in a private jet? Hypocrite.
Because they're used to people like either not caring or not being able to follow them.
Mostly they're not caring, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because usually people don't care. Because we talked about before, like a lot of like the popular YouTubers who fell off and like Spoonie. Like the main reason Spoonie really fell off was the fact that he just stopped uploading shit. Like he could have got he could have gotten away with it. Like a lot of the other ones got away with their shit if he just kept like plugging along with bullshit.
Yeah, probably.
Because I mean, like. I've had someone tell me that I should just get over the fact that the creator of Kenshin's a pedophile. And just watch the new Kenshin.
This new Kenshin?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't be watching it.
Oh, I won't, no, obviously. But, I remember that and I was just like, how do you get over someone being a fucking pedophile? Like, come on. Like... That's different than someone just, like say years ago, or even just, like a few years ago saying, like, a slur. Like, that's not something that goes away. He had so much child porn, the reason he was investigated was the authorities were afraid that he was distributing child porn. This isn't a joke.
It's not great.
No.
Controversial opinion, child porn is bad.
I know. Well, controversial if you're in Japan, because you just get slapped on the wrist for that. Like, oh, you naughty!
I mean, that's, you know, child porn is bad, but at least you didn't do drugs.
Would you smoke weed?
No, of course not.
You fucking smoked weed? Ah, oh, you're disgusting scum!
Like, you smoke weed? Alright, we'll have a patch to the game replacing your voice with another guy within a week.
So anyway, I still haven't played Judgment. Isn't that, you know, just I don't know why that came to my mind, but you know, Judgment randomly just came to my mind when you said that.
Oh, I guess semi-related. Did you hear the hot Digimon news?
I know they're releasing the movie uncut with all the, but also with the other dubs and all kinds of shit in it.
Yeah, but it's not complete, Dan. Do you know why?
Oh yeah, it's not complete. However, I'll let you say it, then I will say the bright side though.
Yeah, it's
because the Angela Anaconda thing isn't in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in there.
Nobody liked Angela Anaconda.
And think on the bright side, maybe
even when it was new, it was this stupid thing Fox kept trying to push. Nobody liked it, and finally they were just like, all right, whatever.
I'll rant about Angela Anaconda in a second because I just want to say, hey, with it being gone from the Blu-ray version, maybe, just maybe, Anon's parents will get back together. What? You remember that post?
No.
Oh, the post where it's this long post where basically they're saying Angela Anaconda made in the Digimon movie made this kid's parents get divorced.
Why it was that bad?
Just look up Angela Anaconda 4chan post. The Angela Anaconda Digimon post and 4chan post. You'll find it. It's an old fucking shit post. From, like, the ancient days of the internet. But yeah, Angela Anaconda was one of those things that, like, it was part of fucking Kablam. No one cared about it was on Kablam, but somehow it was one of the shows that got a spinoff.
No, it wasn't part of it. Wasn't Kablam was something else.
No, it was on Kablam.
No, that was Life with Loopy.
They were both on there. I know what you're talking about Life with Loopy. Life with Loopy is the stop animation.
Sure. No, Angela Anaconda was Fox Family original, I think.
No, it was originally on Nick.
Well, Cartoon Network over here.
Curse you for making me look this up.
I'm pretty damn sure.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be in my search history, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm Angela! Hey, hello! Sorry, my very own show.
It ran for 3 seasons from 1999. Why did it run for 3 seasons? It made 65 episodes? This disgusts me. But no, it debuted on Fox Family. It was never on Nick.
I'm pretty sure it started off as a short thing first.
No.
I am 90% sure.
What have we done with our lives to be here debating about the origins of Angela Anaconda?
You know what? Either way, who cares? Angela Anaconda's a piece of shit.
What have we done with our lives?
Apparently, there was a short on Angela Anaconda on Kablam that I never saw. But
yeah, it was on there.
The actual show, but it was only on there briefly, and the actual show was on Fox Family.
Because there was sometimes things like that happen. Like, what was it? What a Cartoon had, was it, Mina and Drac? Like, the first episode of it, and then there were, like, 5 more episodes that were on Oh Yeah Cartoons on Nickelodeon. This was, like, a series of shorts that was done by the guy who would later go on to do, My Life as a Teenage Robot. Sometimes that would just happen. Actually, what was it? Adventure Time was originally an Oh Yeah cartoon on Nickelodeon. It was like a single short, and then it became an actual show on Cartoon Network years later. This shit just sometimes happens.
I was gonna say Adventure Time, because Adventure Time came out like years after that.
Yeah. Adventure Time was at first an Oh Yeah cartoon short. Like the original pilot was on there.
Well then.
I don't feel like doing this sub quest. Especially considering it's getting late. I want to like beat up one more group of thugs and end the recording.
You want to do this side quest? No, I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will. I just want to find some people to... Oh! Perfect! People bothering a lady. I'll beat them up.
Maybe he should have said that, Captain America, because, you know, maybe people would care about seeing that story.
I think people would have cared about seeing a lot of things if just everyone wasn't gone, and... I think really part of the problem is there's just nothing has really felt like it's even been building to anything. So I think part of why you could get away with you got away with Guardians is because like it was a really big stylish movie, very unique because it's James Gunn, and other later projects are not really unique visually or script wise.
Yeah, they've been more and more cookie cutter.
But then the other thing was it felt like, okay, everything's building towards something. Like, you know, this whole Thanos and this Infinity Stones thing, whatever, that's all building, and it's all going to come to a head later. And then it's like, okay, everything just feels like it just has occasionally, like, oh yeah, let's have, like, an end credits scene at the very end where, like, Doctor Strange has to go off to some extra-dimensional thing without really any clue as to what this actually has to do with what we're building. And I guess in all those movies I didn't watch, there was a Kang who is probably not going to show up anymore.
Yeah, they're not sure what they're doing about Kang.
You know, Kang the Conqueror is also just kind of a loser villain anyway.
Yeah.
And it's once again a problem of we're doing like a big Fantastic Four concept, but we still can't use the Fantastic Four.
We're still waiting to use those.
So we've got the Super Skrulls, but they can't have any of the Fantastic Four powers, so I guess they just have all this random DNA and
Groot
How'd they have-
powers.
they've got the powers of being Drax, but then also you've got the powers of being Hulk. So what's the point of having Drax powers?
Well, you see,
This very I'm sure you'll be very disappointed to hear that, but it turns out when Rhodey was found, he wasn't Terrence Howard.
Oh yeah, I did hear, and it's like, what's the fucking point then?
But I was correct that they switched him out in Civil War.
Yeah, well, makes sense.
So now it's like, yeah, so for all that stuff with him being there for Tony's death and everything, that wasn't really him.
Well, I'm sure it'll be very useful in that movie he's now getting, because they're doing Armor Wars.
Yeah.
Which is impressive considering all of the people who would be involved in that story are dead.
F.
Because, like, obviously Stark is dead. Okay, we never did Titanium Man. There was no Crimson Dynamo. So the only other so Ironmonger wasn't involved in the story, but he would have been possible. Oh wait, he's dead. Whiplash. Okay. Oh wait, no, he's dead.
No, they didn't do Titanium Man and Crimson Dynamo because they couldn't be used for the plot line of this person is mad that he's not as smart as Tony Stark. Which was
Is that actually the plot, the origin of Crimson Dynamo?
Is it?
I feel like so. I'm pretty sure Titanium Man is literally the Russians going, we need our own Iron Man, but he's radioactive and kills himself.
I genuinely don't know enough about Iron Man to comment on this.
I just know that the plot of all three movies is this one other scientist is mad that they're not as cool as Tony. In fact, that was also the plot of Spider-Man 2. Even though Tony wasn't even in there because he was dead.
Yeah.
And Mysterio's still thing is I'm mad because I'm not as smart as Tony.
I thought he was mad because he turned his holographic technology into a little joke about his family being dead.
Well, that too.
And then the natural response is, I'm going to hijack a kill sat and destroy London, which I'm not opposed to. FYI, but a bit of a weak plan. Maybe if he'd have used a mech. But he didn't, loser.
No. Alright. Well, that's it for today.
Time to leave.
It's time to leave.